Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Latino America and all the paisanos around the globe, all the mothers and misters Chivas, brothers and sisters. Welcome to We Goat You Live. We're transmitting directly from La Perla Tapatía, home to the most glorious of teams, el Club Deportivo Guadalajara. Bienvenidos a todos a We Goat You. We Goat You, my friends. Joining me today are our co-hosts, Gabriela Silva. Gabi, ¿cómo estás?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 6 of We Go to Live. A lot to talk about. Very exciting news. And so happy to be here for 6 episodes already. We have a very special guest tonight, and I cannot wait to start talking to him. Alfredo, Robert, un placer estar con ustedes as usual.
Gracias, Gabi. El placer es nuestro. Alfredo, ¿cómo estás?
Hi Robert, hi Gavi. I'm doing great. Hi Chivas hermanos. I'm doing pretty good on this Wednesday, middle of the week. Tapatio just won 5-2. El Rebaño Sagrado won on Saturday, so we're heading into the top 6. There's a big gap now between the 6th and 7th place of Liga MX. El Guadalajara has made it until the last 3 match days with great opportunities of entering in the top 4. Ready also to talk some Chivas Femenil, ready to talk about Caro and Gaby Valenzuela, the national team. So I'm excited to be here.
Welcome, Alfredo.
And hey, Chivas hermanos, we have a very special announcement for you. Let's go.
Bienvenidos al Estadio Akron, la casa de las campeonas, la casa de las chingonas.
They just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard.
Montoya le pegó al arco, el balón lleva dirección de portería. ¡Gol! ¡Gol! Cayó el tercero y ahora sí, Buenfil. ¡Sácala! Pero del fondo.
We are heading to the final stretch with both teams. So, yeah, stay tuned for this Monday for another game of our Chingonas. Robert?
Coming up, all of our teams, yes, we're in our fighting for our playoff positions, trying to find and positioning themselves in the best place possible so that they can end up in that top 4 and avoid all of the rest of the mayhem that happens to the week previous to the true playoff week, right? Because the first off is just getting rid of the flotsam, those that are not going to make it to the next part. So let's talk about Chivas. Yes, Chivas Varonil. But hey, guys,
what happened?
Breaking news. What happened this morning? What happened just a few moments ago?
Just a few minutes ago.
I'm in another dimension. I told you guys I'm from another Chivaverse. Okay, but we had El Tapatio last I saw. They were down 2-1 at halftime. When I came back, they had been able to tie it up 2-2. There was a penalty that resulted in a 3-2, and then I came down getting ready for our show, and I've just found out that Tapatio took the W with a 5-2 overall score. So that moves them up, I think, right? That moves them up from second place to first place.
They're in first place
provisionally.
Yes, provisionally, because Celaya plays later, I guess. I think, and they can be the ones that be in the first place. But right now, Tapatio is crushing it. What a game! I see a lot of comments right here of people talking specifically about this game. I think it's very worth talking about. So yeah, and also please let us know what you think. Let us know what do you think about the show, about Tapatio, about everything about Chivas. Let us know in the comment section. And if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to be with us live chatting and We Go With You Live, please send a DM through our Facebook page so we can contact you and bring you to the show so we can chat with you.
Yeah, two goals by Said Muñoz, one by Diego Campillo, one by Benjamin Sanchez de la Mora, and another one by Jonathan Alamparra gave the win to Tapatio, who tied Celaya in the first place at expense of what they have to do later on.
And great news for Gerardo Espinosa, who had a small medical intervention. So it's great news for him. He's done a great job with El Tapatio. And well, all that hard work is finally paying off, and we could see it. And what's most important is that this is our spot for us to notice which players will possibly be playing with us next year, right? Who's going to come up to the first team? Because we have a lot of people there. You already said Zaid. He's been with the first team a couple of times. Hopefully he can win his place finally, because he is always on the ball, man. He's a hunter. So we could start talking about, let's talk about them in a little bit. Let's move on a little bit now and start thinking about how we can move those players, how Gerardo Espinosa and Pauno will one day move those younger guys up front so that they can be in the first team. So something to keep our eye on, definitely El Tapatio.
Yeah.
Especially coming back from a 2-0. So let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. How was it this weekend for you, my friends? How did our Chivas do this weekend? What are your feelings about
we have a happy face again. we are smiling again. Yeah, we got a win after a couple of 3 unfortunate games that were but we got the win back. It was a very frustrating game at times, but we got it. I think at the end of the day, we have to thank a lot of pieces, a lot of players, and especially Huacho, because we have to be honest. At the end of the game, in the last minutes of the game, Huacho stopped literally the ball from getting in his goalie. And it could have been the tie for Necaxa. So it was a very good win. Another 3 points. Let's remember that there are 3 games left, and 2 of those games are at home. So potentially we could be talking about snatching those 6 points, hopefully, and let's see what happens. So we have that amazing production. We have visual aids. I'm so happy. ¿Quieren narrar?
I'm excited to tell everyone here.
Yes, there it is. There it is. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That
what a save.
That was insane.
Yes.
When we look at these games, when we look at our players, I always imagine that I'm watching a video game. And somehow they're in different modes, right? There's the berserk mode, the soft mode. For me, there's just 2 modes with Huacho, and this was good Huacho. This was the good Huacho mode, pulling us out of it. He saved us more than once. It was 3 times during the match, and I think that Necaxa only made it 3 times to our or shot on goal 3 times. So that says a lot. Those 3 goals, those 3 possible goals that Necaxa could have had against us, Huacho saved us.
Huacho, oh my gosh.
Look there's another one. There he blocks it, jumps
Otro
up.
Huachazo. Another Huachazo. What?
And there was Chicote. I saw that play. I told you I was watching Chicote on Saturday. All his movements. He had a great game. Who were our key players? Okay. Ganamos por la mínima. All right. We don't have, a buen sabor de boca, maybe, because, these guys are starting to learn to play together. It's like we're starting all over again with our Pegriloso line. Yeah. And in this Chivaverse, okay, how did you see? What were the sensaciones? ¿Qué les quedó? ¿Qué sensaciones les quedaron con mis Chivas?
I really liked the game that Roberto Alvarado played, because he was very good at coming back and retaining the ball, either in the wings or at the center. I think that he had a great game. He was really good at keeping the ball and waiting for the team to come up into attack. I would say Mozo had a great game, even though the first 15 minutes were not fantastic. He did have a great game later on cherrying on top with that assist. And Pavel Perez came strong from the bench. And of course, Huacho Jimenez also had a great game.
I agree with you. I kind of disagree a little bit about Piojo. I think he had a very good match. But at times, like we discussed yesterday, it seemed like they couldn't find their right place, It seemed like that at times, como que se estorbaban, It was like they were running their lines a little bit differently, trying to find that right or maybe that natural way of playing with those brilliant players that we have up top. And then, of course, Pavel.
Oh, Pavel.
Pavel,
Yeah.
right? But that pass, who made the pass?
Alan Mozo.
Alan Mozo.
Alan Mozo. We got to shine those tres dedos,
Oh, yeah.
Tres dedos. Beautiful three-toed pass. And he wasn't even looking. It was like Michael Jordan, right? In basketball. Watch, look, he doesn't even, wait, can we see that again? Can we see where he passes the ball? Let's see, watch. He doesn't even look at it. And I'm not going to say what Pavel said, because if you read lips, you got the complete message. But let's take a look at that pass, man. Look at how Mozo doesn't even look at Pavel. Let's see if production can save us. Here, check it out.
Pavel said that what Pauno was saying earlier, that
there you go,
that he was telling the players that came out from the bench that they were the ones to make the difference at key moments, that they were the ones to put the team on their shoulders at key moments, and he did. Pavel did it. He came in with about 25 minutes left to play in the game. He scored fast. I think he didn't have he surely didn't have 15 minutes on the pitch when he scored. He had already some good interventions before the goal. So very happy for Pavel, very happy for the team, very happy for Mozo, and very happy that Pauno's plans worked.
And very happy for the win overall. I mean, at this stage of the tournament, and after those horrible last 3 games, or not horrible, but you know what I mean, like we could have won at least one of those 3. It was good to finally have another win, and knowing that we have those last 3 games, 2 of them at home, and we are still in the fight. We already secured a spot in repechaje, so that's good. We're just right now trying to figure out and trying to see if Chivas has the capacity to be in the top 4. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because we've been discussing that as well. As they are playing now, and I'm going to throw this question out towards our fans, our aficionados out there, our Chivermanos, Chivermanas. Do you guys think that Chivas will make the top 4 playing as they are now? Because there was a Chivas before Puebla, and then there was a Chivas after America and Atlas, which we are starting to see a stronger Chivas now. Defensively, we already had it. We were able to keep that 0 behind us, right? So playing as we are now, will we make the top 4, or do we need some improvement? Or is there still some improvement necessary? What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? And please let us know in the comment section. And remember, if you want to be a part of the show, please send a DM through our Facebook page and let us know. We have a lot of very interesting comments right now. And somebody is asking, I saw a question like, how would you rate Guacho this season so far? That's interesting. And somebody else asked how many of those 9 points are Chivas snatching. Jose Salazar says 9 points out of 9 for sure. I think, okay, no, there is a lot more improvement that is needed. I agree. Improvement is needed. I agree. Fernando Yacardi. Hi, Fernando Yacardi. Fernando Yacardi. Angel Ruiz says that 5 out of 9. I'm with Sergio. We will get at least 6 out of those 9. Omar, Guacho does an excellent job. I support him. So yeah, guys, the comment section is going crazy right now, and I really much appreciate it. We love reading you and knowing from you. And yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, and it is my pleasure to tell you, Chivermanos, that we have already made it into the final phase. You know, at the very least, we have made it already mathematically to repechaje after 25 points in 14 matches, 7 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, 20 goals scored and only 16 against. So that very first key, vital, and basic task has already been completed after the first 14 matches at 25 points. So we're already in the playoffs. But of course, Chivas es el más grande, so we want more. We want to get into the top 4, and why not even more? But first, let's get into the top 4.
Yes,
Arriba las Chivas.
Our next rival, right? León is 1 up from us. They're the rival to beat. We need to pass them. Obviously, if we win, that's 3 points. We'll be able to have a couple of a point advantage over them. But I'm not worried too much about Leon because I think Leon plays the type of soccer that Chivas likes and our
Right.
Chiva hermanos like too, because it's open, it's aggressive, it's front forward, it's high pressing as well. So I think we're going to be watching a great match there. I'm a little bit more worried about the Cruz Azul and the Mazatlan games. We'll talk about them at their moment, but because they are more of a mystery to me. Yeah, we talked yesterday about Cruz Azul is now se está
Imputados.
repuntando, right? It's coming
Yes.
back to life. The zombies coming back to life. Yeah, with under the supervision of our favorite Brazilian Tuca Ferretti. Yeah, and Mazatlan. I don't know. I mean, look at what happened this week. Look at what happened this week, right? What was the score? 4-0, 4-0. What was it? I wasn't able to catch who scored the goals, but they decimated their rivals. So
Yes.
it's something to think about. I'm not worried about Leon. I think Leon's going to be a great game. And that used to be an antique, it's like a clásico.
Like a derby. Well, not a derby because they're not
was a
from the same
derby.
city,
Almost
but
vintage.
yeah, there was a rivalry, right?
It was
Around-
a great rivalry even before the America one.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. So
Even
around
before the America one.
when was that? Like the 70s?
Was the 50s, 40s, 50s? Yes,
Okay.
that was because they were the teams to beat in
Right.
in any place that was not in Mexico City, right? Out here in the boondocks. We were the teams to beat. But Leon had a magnificent team. They were excellent. They were I think they were considered the first Campeonísimo because they had put a string of victories together. I have to do my homework. I haven't read about them in a while, but I need to look into that. So that was one of the greatest derbies de antaño. So I'm expecting a great game. And so we have 3 games, right?
3 games left. Yes. 9
We have a
points.
gráfico for that one, right? 3 games.
Mr. Producer. Last 4 games of Chivas. We are going against Leon. This is the last away game we have, then Cruz Azul and then Mazatlan. So I think the toughest one is going to be Leon. I mean, yes, of course, and we talked about this before. There's no small rival at all. But Cruz Azul is now enrachado con Tuca. Mazatlan, it's like a question mark. So yeah, but still, I think Leon is going to be a very tough game, especially because it's in Leon.
What's going to be the score there, do you think?
Oh my gosh, I want to go last.
Yeah, you go last.
I
Okay.
want to go last.
Alfredo?
I would say it's gonna be either a 1-0 or 2-1 Chivas win. It's gonna be a win like the ones we had in Monterrey this season. So tight,
Okay.
close, but we're taking the 3 points.
We're taking
Yeah.
points.
I agree with you this time. Definitely going to be a low score because defensively we're doing well. We
Mhm.
just need to, push some of those balls into the net. I'm going to go, yes, a 1 goal difference. 1-0. 1-0 with a goal from
I would say Alexis Vega. Alexis Vega's
Alexis
taking it.
Vega?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm craving a Vega goal.
Nalgón. El Nalgón nos va a hacer felices.
He will.
Okay, so I go 1-0. You say 1-0, 2-1. Alfredo?
Yeah, 1-0 or 2-1. Yes.
Okay. Gabi?
I'm going with a 1-0. Yeah.
1-0?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. It's going to be, yes, but we're taking that W. We're going back home for the last 2 games with that win.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, if we can
Yes.
get those 3 points, that'll
Yes.
bring a lot of tranquilidad, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of peace to the Rojiblanco nation, especially these 3 people.
Especially, yes. We have a lot of comments. Thank you, guys. There's a lot of comments. That's amazing. Velasco says, greeting to everyone. Well, a tie is enough against Leon, and hopefully we will win both at home. Another Chivas score, 2-0. Leon is the number one campeonísimo, first back-to-back champion in long tournaments and short tournaments. There you go.
Mhm.
Thanks for the stat. Yeah.
Thanks.
And yeah, I understand that we are in repechaje, but Chivas needs to be top 400%. Brian, I agree completely with you. So, what's happening next, you guys? I think we have somebody.
We
Some-
have
we
a
have
visitor.
we have someone very special. Yay!
Let's take. Do you want to do the honors, Gabi?
Yes, if I may, please. Thank you so much.
Yes, you may.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we have another guest, a very special guest, and part of what we are trying to do in We Go To is try to bring the community of Mexican and Mexican American and whatever your nationality is. But if you are a Chiva hermano, bring us together and make this huge and amazing community where we can talk about what we love the most, Chivas. So today we have a very special guest, a very close friend of mine personally, and he is the founder and host of Chivas del Norte, a space, a podcast that speaks everything Chivas from across the border. So we are very, very, very happy and very honored to welcome Álvaro Vaquero to We Go To from Chivas del Norte. Varo, how are you?
Hey guys,
Bienvenido.
what's up?
Bienvenido.
Hi.
Hey
Welcome
guys,
to
what's
the
up?
show. Welcome to the show. Thank you for
Can you
agreeing
guys,
with
you guys
us.
can hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Loud
perfectly.
and
Okay,
clear.
cool. I think we were having like technical difficulties, but we're okay now.
Loud and clear. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for joining. So I want to, of course, this is your show also, and everything we are doing right now couldn't be possible if we wouldn't be looking up to at some degree of Chivas del Norte. So I want you to please tell us how Chivas del Norte was created.
So it originally started as not a Chivas podcast. We started doing the Colorful Kit podcast, which we were doing. We were focusing on foreign players, Mexican players playing abroad, and then honestly, we were too lazy to keep up with the guys that were playing at like 8:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and I was like, I'm out. So we gave up on that. The Colorful Kid podcast is still going. Shout out to Raul. Um, but then Flo and I were like, yo, we're Chivas fans. Let's just talk about Chivas because it seemed like at the time there was only negative Chivas talk. Nobody was talking good things about Chivas. So we're like, we're gonna focus on the good things about Chivas. Our motto was kind of like, I don't know if you guys have younger siblings, but you know how it's like kind of okay for you to pick on them, but when someone else picks on them, then there's a problem. So that was our thing. It's like, all right, we can talk shit about them, but if you guys want to do that, it's like, no, you're not allowed. This is our team. We can do whatever we want because we're real fans. So it just started like that. We started putting out episodes in English on the internet through Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, all that, and it kind of just took off. And it's pretty cool to see now. Even Chivas is attempting to reach out to Mexican American Chivas fans all over the world, Chivas fans that speak English. Not just focusing on the Chivas fans in Mexico.
Alvaro, this is Robert Amorelli over here. What's been your greatest challenge? And welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with us, bro. We've been following you for a long time. Thank you very much. What's been your greatest challenge on Chivas del Norte?
I don't know. I feel like we got like a good reception from fans. I think it's something that fans have been wanting for a while. I think, another reason we started the podcast and the Twitter account is a lot of fans in the US felt neglected by the team. I think, they don't come here to play. They didn't come out here to play as often as they do now. There wasn't really English content, getting Chivas merchandise was really hard. I think there are still some situations where it is difficult to get. I think fans are clamoring for like the women's jersey, which isn't available in the States yet. But I think Chivas has made a lot of strides in terms of reaching out to us, making themselves available, putting out content now in English for the fans in the United States. So um, I don't I don't think we had any like struggles. I think the reception to us was great. I think the Chivas, there's Chivas fans all over the world, en todo el mundo hay Chivas mano, and I think the Chivas fans in the U.S. just gravitated towards us because we're here. We're in the U.S. We have a different perspective of what Chivas is. I think you guys all grew up in Mexico, so everyone knows what Chivas is, right? You go anywhere, you say I'm a Chivas fan, and everybody knows you're a Chivas fan. Us growing up here in the United States, you have all these leagues that are watched by other people. You have Premier League, you have the La Liga, you have Serie A. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of people to talk about Chivas with. It was my dad or my family members that are Chivas fans, and that's it. You go to school, you're not talking about, the goal that Ramosito Morales scored, the goal that Omar Bravo scored. I just had like one of the best weekends of my life because Chivas won the championship in 2006, and I only talk about it with my dad, right? There was no one
Right.
to talk about it with, so it's a different experience growing up in the United States as a Liga MX fan. Um, but I mean, then when we did the podcast, when Twitter came around, it just opened up like this whole new world of fans and the reach that you have. Like I met Gabby through Twitter, now we're like close friends, and it's incredible all the fans that you meet, and the experiences that we've had.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know if you guys can hear that, the sirens in the
I
background.
can.
That's
That's
New
New
York
York. That's New
City,
York City.
baby.
So
Vienen por ti.
that's New York City.
That's New York City.
Well, that's really interesting, my friend. And how about, and especially you guys done very well on Twitter, which is, Twitter is such a hard place to do well on because it's like they love you or they hate you. And that's just one of those spaces, those cyber spaces that are really difficult to work through. What has been more helpful for you guys with the podcast on the SoundCloud areas, or expanding your message through other spaces, or what's been the most successful for you guys?
So, I mean, we don't record as often as we used to before, we've all been doing it. I think 2017 is when we started. So, I mean, you grow, we start growing up, we have more responsibilities, we, move, people move, start growing,
Mhm.
having families and all that. So life kind of gets in the way of recording the podcast. So now I'm more focused on Twitter. We have our Chivas del Norte Discord, which is an amazing community. I think it's pretty awesome what we've created there. Shout out to everybody from in the Discord in the comments watching right now. Um, but I mean, it's just been great to see how a little idea, kind of blew up, and now we have fans all over the United States. When we were recording consistently, we had people in London, in Australia, in Russia, people listening to the podcast, and we're just like, is that spam or is that actual Chiva hermanos out there, Chiva hermanas? So it's just been a really cool experience to see the reach.
Yeah, Alvaro, this is Alfredo here. It's great to meet you and great to speak with you, and fantastic to know about the whole Chivas del Norte project. I've been following it for for more than a year and a half now, and I wanted to ask more on La Pelotita, the footballing side. How do you see the team? How do you see Paunovic's boys? How did you see the match on Saturday against Necaxa, and how do you see this one against León, as well as the rest of the regular season? What's your take on the team?
Right. I think, what was it, like 3, 4 weeks ago, we were on top of the world. We thought we were gonna run away with the league. We thought we had, we're gonna win the next championship, and then, reality kind of hit us with the what was it, the Puebla game, and then the Clásico. I actually didn't catch the game on Saturday because I went out for dinner for my dad's birthday, so I did miss it. But I do like what I see from Chivas. I think we finally have a system, and we have a on-field leader with Pocho Guzman, who's been an amazing signing. I think what he's done for the team, for the locker room, is amazing. Um, I like what Banovic is doing. I think he's adapting to the league well. He's using the players as well as he can. He's working with what he's got. Maybe we'll get some help in the off season. I'm out here watching Saca la Cartera. But I think we're on the right path. We're building a project. We have a good core. I think Chivas, it's important for Chivas to have a good core of young players and get the right veterans on the field. I think that's something that we've been lacking for a while. I think we had the young players. We just didn't have the on-field leaders that we have now. So I like where we are. I think it's great that we wrapped up, our repechaje. Ideally, we want to wrap up a top four spot, which is, what we always want. We always want Chivas in the top four positions of the league, always fighting for the championships. But I think we have to be honest, right, as fans, that we're kind of in the rebuilding phase. It's going pretty okay right now. We had, like I said, with our past coaches, our past rosters, we didn't have the base or the system that we wanted, but I think we're gonna be okay right now. I think Ivanovic has the right idea, and I think the players on the team, they're a team. It's something we've been missing for a while.
Yeah, I agree. I see more dynamism up front. I see the team with a more clear idea of what they want to do after 3 quarters. So it's a matter of being a little bit patient. In the fact that we're already we're fighting in the top spots in the very first tournament of this new coaching staff says a lot about the work that has been done, not only by the coaching staff, but also up in the sporting direction, Fernando Hierro and his guys. So I'm also excited to see how this project develops, not only this tournament, but also looking into the future.
And
Well, a
I want to
question.
I want to ask. I want to go. I'm sorry, Robert. I want
Go
to
for
go
it.
just a little back in time. How do you become a Chivas fan? Like, I want to know the story. I want to know, like, it was because of your dad. You talked about the fact that in the United States you didn't talk much about Liga MX or Chivas in general because there was not much more information out there. But how do you become a Chivas fan? And if you've ever been to Akron or Estadio Jalisco.
Yes, I mean, I've been a Chivas fan since I was a kid. Since I started watching soccer, one of my first memories of soccer is that Chivas Necaxa final, which we unfortunately lose. But that's one of the first Chivas memories I have, and I guess it kind of foreshadowed, my future as a Chivas fan. But
Stop it.
but
Made
no,
to
so
suffer.
my dad was a Chivas fan. So I started watching Chivas because of him. I've been watching since I was a kid. Growing up, my favorite player, like I said, I mentioned him before, Ramosito Morales was my favorite player growing up. Just the heart, the grit that he showed on the field for Chivas, the love that he had for Chivas was amazing. It's admirable. It's something that we wish we had every generation. Obviously, you're not going to get a player like that every generation. A guy that believes red and white every day on the pitch, leaves it all there. But yeah, I grew up a Chivas fan. I saw the team Del Mar Bravo, Bofo, Venado win the championship in '06, '07. Then the Almeida team, and now hoping for another one soon. I make that joke that we wait every 10 years. It's like 2027. Here we go. It's like, but I mean, hopefully it's shorter than that. The women just won the league, so that was amazing. That was a great championship. I saw the first women's title that we won. That's always a funny story because I told Gabby I was watching a um, a stream of that on Facebook, and it wasn't even like a stream that we have now. It was someone recording their TV with their phone and going live, and like every time Chivas scored a goal, the lady that was recording the stream would like jump around, and it was like, oh crap! I was like, who scored? Who scored? And then like just hold it still long enough for me to see the replay of the goal. So it's like all these little stories that you have as a Chivas fan is it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And I have been to the Akron. I never got a chance to go. I haven't had a chance to go to the Jalisco for a Chivas game. I went to El Clásico Nacional in 2020, I want to say, or right before COVID, the year before COVID. I went to the Clásico, and unfortunately we lost. We lost that game,
At the
and
Akron,
I
right?
just at the Akron. Yeah, it was
Yes,
Cardoso was our coach at the time.
I remember. It was horrible.
I wanted my money back, but couldn't do that.
So would you say that while the kids at school were speaking about the touchdown passes of Brett Favre and Peyton Manning, you were mostly about Ramon Morales, Omar Bravo, and those guys, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember we used to have the sponsor on here with our old team jersey. It said Bimbo, and Bimbo in English it means a whole nother
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah, yeah.
it's like, what are you, a bimbo? And I'm like, But yeah, it's like everyone else is talking about the Jets, the Giants game, the Yankees, the Mets, and I'm here like, anyone watch Chivas? Like,
Right.
but so it's a little isolating. But then Twitter comes along, social media comes along, opens up like this whole new reach to fans, and we have the Discord is like just proof of that. People are in there in the live game chat watching the game all together. If you don't have to be home alone watching the game. You can open Discord and I think we have like 300 something Chivas fans in there now,
Wow.
and it's just like a big party. It's like a watch party without actually
Oh, that's
having
fun.
to
And
leave
you
your house. So
realize
it's amazing.
And you realize that we are everywhere, literally. Like since Twitter, again, like we know Chivas has fans in Australia, in Brazil, you name it. Like we are absolutely everywhere. Like I had the chance, like the great opportunity to be in Qatar last year, and there were Chivas shirts everywhere, and not only from Mexican fans. So yes, we are absolutely everywhere, and this definitely, and of course, Chivas del Norte, I think personally was like a huge step up for every Chivas fans around the USA and outside the USA even to join this huge community of Chiva hermanos all around the world. So yeah, all the things that Chivas del Norte does are amazing. So please check them out. Check Varo out. A lot of love for you, my friend, on the chat. Vamos, Varo, Varo, mi ídolo. Vamos, Varo, eres chingón, Varo. CND in the chat. Leave your information description below. Somebody is asking about your information. Chivas says, Chivas del Norte, we go to. You got a shout out from Chivas himself. So yeah, a lot of love for you, and yeah, all the support and all the love from us to Chivas del Norte always.
Yes.
The Chiva Mayor.
And
We have
some
breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Go for it,
Varo.
Alfredo.
We do have some breaking news. It is my pleasure to tell you, Chivermanos, that we have 4 rojiblancos that have been called to the top tier Mexican national team for next week. Nene Beltran is going to the national team. Gilberto Sepúlveda is going back again with the national team, as well as Piojo Alvarado, and Alexis Vega is also getting back with the national team. There you go, rojiblancos de selección. And more Chivas presence in El Tri.
In El Tri. Still missing someone for me, though.
Uh-oh.
Who do you guys think is still missing there?
Who can
No hay quinto malo. Come on.
Who can it
Who's
be?
missing?
Watch
El
him.
Guacho, of course.
Of course. Yeah, I was gonna say Pocho Guzman, but El Guacho he's missing at least.
No.
Yeah.
No, of
Yeah.
course. You know who should be there. We know who should be there. But we have a bunch of great. I'm expecting, and I used to remember when I was a younger me, when we had the majority of the national team was made up of Chivas.
Yes.
No, it was at least 6 or 7 players sometimes, even if they were on the bench. The national team was filled with Chiva players. And when the Chivas are healthy, the national team is healthy.
Thank you.
That's what I see.
Exactly my thoughts. Varo, what do you think about the 4 Chiva hermanos that were called up for the Mexican national team? Who's missing?
I mean,
Is
it's,
Macho missing?
I mean, it's always
Nice.
great. it's always
play
great to
nice.
have, national team players. I think, you're making a reference to when Chivas used to be the base for the national team. And, as a Chivas fan, you feel that pride, like without Chivas, the Mexican national team isn't going to thrive, right? We had, it was like right before the 2010 or '06 World Cup, where it was like Osvaldo, it was Omar Bravo, Renato Medina, Bofo Bautista, Ramosito Morales, we had Massa Rodriguez, Carlos Salcido. So we had pretty much the national team on Chivas.
Yeah.
And, we, as a Chivas fan, I think all of us would love to see that again. Um, this particular game, though, I don't know. I think,
Yes.
it's not really a important game, right? I mean, I know it's against the USA and that rivalry speaks for itself, but we're going to Liguilla and we have bad luck. When our players go there, they come back hurt. And Vega just came back from an injury. Alvarado's a pivotal player for Chivas. Beltran and Sepulveda, we don't want these guys to get hurt. So I'm
Yeah, but
happy
how
for
can
them,
you
but at
say
the
no?
same time, I'm like, because I think Paunovic even hinted at it, right? That he didn't want the players
Yes.
to go.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
I
But
mean,
how
you
would
can't
that
you can't
look
say
though?
no. You can't say no,
Exactly.
You
but
can't say. I mean, you can, but
but
like,
yeah,
right?
but I mean, I think as kids we all dreamed of playing right for Chivas and then for the Mexican national team, right? We
Right.
had that little scenario, kicking the ball around, pretending we just scored a goal for Chivas or Mexico. And obviously, I get it, right? The players can't say no, but as a Chivas fan, it's like, damn, kind of wish they hadn't got called up so they could focus on Chivas and keep our form.
Well, they're going to be gone. Let's say they leave Saturday. They come back. They have the match Wednesday, right? And then they'll be back by Thursday. Yeah, that's not that much time. Hopefully, they'll be able to rest up enough so that they'll be ready for the game on Saturday against
Cruz
Cruz
Azul.
Azul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a mad match. That's the real problem. It's the resting period. And like you said, we have bad luck. We have bad luck when we lend people to the national team.
And again, I mean, it's an important game because it's against the USA, but it's a friendly. At the end of the day, it's not like a very important match. I mean, it's more like just we have to beat the USA's at some point again. But yeah, the main goal is not to get anybody injured. They are like key players right now for us, so it would be very unfortunate. And I'm not even going to say it, but I just hope they come back safely.
Yeah, and remember that since Mexico is hosting the next World Cup, there's gonna be plenty of these sort of matches in the next 3 years because the national team is not playing qualifiers. So
Thank God.
yeah, these sort of occasions, let's kind of get used to them because I feel that they are gonna be pretty often in the upcoming years. And speaking about people from the national team, did you guys manage to follow the performance of Gaby Valenzuela and Caro Jaramillo with
Yes.
moving off onto the girls, of course?
Yes, let's move on.
With El Tri Femenil, did you manage to see their performances?
I was able to watch both matches. I thought that Caro performed magnificently as always. Actually, she scored a magnificent goal in the first game.
Yeah.
Right, Gabi? It was the first game, and then in the second game,
the Red Stars.
she gave the pass for the assist for the second goal. The game that was the day before yesterday, and I saw Gabi come onto the pitch. She wanted to eat up the world, man. She was ready. So I saw really strong both of them. Me encantaron.
Yeah, Gabi.
I felt represented. I felt represented with them this time.
Yes,
it was magnificent to watch them play.
So now I want to Chivas del Norte, Varo. You also cover Chivas Femenil in this new era of women's soccer in Mexico. What do you think about our team, our call-ups for the Mexican national team this time around? And what is it about our players and about what's so special about women's soccer in Mexico?
mean, I think just about representation, right? I think the league is growing at a rapid pace. I think our the players on Chivas are doing great. Chivas has been in the top spots for the past couple of tournaments. Gabi Valenzuela more than deserved her call up, the recent call ups that she's had, and it's amazing to see her, play. I think she's turned into one of my favorite Chivas feminine players recently. Obviously, Licha is still going to be at the top, but Gabi Valenzuela is amazing, right? She's in
She's the
amazing
future.
form. She's killing it every time she goes out there. She leaves it all on the pitch. And Caro scored that amazing golazo, that free kick. And it's just shows what Caro can do when she has the opportunity. She's not afraid to step up on the big stage. She always performs for Chivas. They've won the league in the last 2 years, so that was amazing. And if we're gonna talk Chivas Femenil, I have to give a shout out to Melissa because she's the one that made my transition into a Chivas Femenil fan, as easy as possible. She really helped me get into Chivas Femenil, helped me, know the players, know their background. And then, now that the league is so much more accessible here in the United States through Telemundo, it's amazing. And I try not to miss a game. Sometimes, they are at weird times. And now that Mexico isn't switching their hour back for some reason, it's even weirder. But, always try to watch Chivas Femenil, even when the games end at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday night. And the next day at work, I'm dead for the first 3 hours. But it's okay, because
Yes.
vale la pena la desvelada.
Para eso el café.
Yeah, sometimes we're just like texting back and forth, like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
they said one. Oh no, blah 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 blah. To keep me posted or whatever. But yeah, you always try to stay on the Chivas Femenil boat as well. So yes, that's amazing. A lot of love for you, still, my friend, in the chat.
Tanto cariño.
Yeah, tanto cariño. In the first game, Caro was awesome, but the second game, she was just good. Maybe it had to do with the dash. Yeah, maybe. What do you think? What do you think? What was the dash? Houston Dash was more difficult than the Red Stars. I don't know.
I thought that maybe she's just Dash was pretty insistent up
they got
top.
the game already. Like maybe she
Yes.
was just like slowing down. Maybe she was like,
was just
okay, we got
tired.
this. We got this. Like there's no point of like rushing and trying to get injured, So they got the game.
Exactly.
It was an awesome game, and
Exactly.
it's awesome to see them play. Like Pedro, the fact that she can sub them in is amazing by itself. For them to have that experience in the Mexican national team and doing it amazing, considering the circumstances of not qualifying to the World Cup, but whatever. But yeah, that was great.
And you know what Caro is missing in the Mexican national team? She's missing her compañera de batalla. She's missing Cassandra Montero. And I'm mentioning Cassandra Montero not only because she is my favorite midfielder in the league, but also because I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Chivas TV, but Resiliencia on Cassandra Montero just came out for Chivas TV subscribers. You can watch the trailer in our YouTube channel. It's amongst our latest videos. And so if you wanna know more about Cassandra Montero, Resiliencia, that's her story. How she had to face every type of challenge to get into elite football. So you can watch it, Resiliencia, Cassandra Montero. The trailer is on our YouTube channel, and subscribe to Chivas TV. Get Chivas TV because there's plenty of content besides many of the home matches for both men, women's, and also Cantera Rojiblanca. And also speaking about the girls and the team in general, we only have 5 match weeks left in Liga MX Femenil.
Can't wait to see them back.
Yeah, 2 of these games are at home. For example, on Monday, we receive León, as we had already mentioned. Then we go to Capital Rojiblanca against Cruz Azul. Then we travel to Monterrey against Tigres. Then we come back home, Pachuca. And then we're off to near the frontier to Tijuana. So Chivermanos in the West Coast plan ahead, 12th of May. We're gonna be in Tijuana, just cross the border, and you can watch our campeonas and chingonas, who will obviously will try to steal the best playoff position possible. And why not? We're going for the third star.
The third star, it would be magnificent to see. And they have, si tienen pasta, no? I think that they're strong enough this season. And Pato's done a great job consolidating them. I think that they're on their way. But like I said, they have to pass over the Regias. And now America, who is playing very well and consistent. Yeah. So hopefully those will be our top fours. Top four is going to be the champs coming from there.
We actually surpassed America in the table. We're now in the second place because they had a negative result. So we're back in the second place, and we're only 1 point away from Rayadas to knock the first place, because Rayadas are at 30 points and we're at 29. So, and there's still 5 games left. So why not take the first place,
And actually, we have to remember the very important fact that we might have Licha back for next game.
We gotta be patient. Yeah, but
be patient. We might. I'm just throwing it out there. She might be back. She's already training with the team, but yeah, we have to take it slow. We know her, and we know that she's going to be like ready from first second. But we have to be patient, and we have to wait. Maybe for playoffs, she will be completely ready. But for now, she's back, she's training, and she's almost ready. So let's just keep an eye on her.
Crossing our fingers and toes. It's all good news for Chivas. So we have our Chivas hermanos up top, the Chivas varonil, Chivas femenil. And now today, as we started the program, El Tapatío has now stuck together 2 wins, right? The first one against Dorado was a contundente 4-0, and today a 5-2 win. 5-2 is, like I said, surprising.
They were down 2-0. That's amazing.
Yes.
They were down 2-0, and they were able to come back, it seemingly without breaking a sweat.
Right. Yeah. And
so it's all good news for us.
And Tapatío, without, gotta say it, without Tepa Gonzalez in the team, who was practicing with the first team today. So who knows? We might have some surprises in the starting 11 against León. Kind of excited to see if Tepa makes it, at least off from the bench.
Yeah.
Tepa, and I didn't see a lot of regular players for Tapatío. They were playing with their B squad, let's say. So I think we're going to see a couple of new faces in Pauno's convocatoria.
Yeah. And we have some of the guys, for example, are now more that came back from being injured, that they have already picked up rhythm. For example, Cone Brizuela, I think he had some positive minutes the other day. And of course Alexis. So really exciting to see what's left in Clausura 2023 in every single one of our categories. I think it's been a while since we haven't had such a good tournament in Tapatío, Femenil and Varonil. So it's been a good semester so far, and let's hope to close it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been surprising. It's hard to believe it. It's hard to believe. I don't want to believe, because whenever I believe, right?
One day at a time, my friend. One day at a time. And
vamos a despedir a nuestro nuevo padrino, Gaby.
Padrino número 2, Chivas del Norte, Varo. Thank you so much, my friend. From day one, I told you. And when we got the opportunity to do the show, I was like, the one person I have to thank is Varo and Chivas del Norte overall, because you guys were the first in doing this kind of thing for the Mexican American community and from everybody that speaks English and that loves Chivas. So I have to give a massive shout out to everything you guys are doing and are going to do in the future. And thank you so much for the patience, for being here, for being an amazing friend, because we sometimes about random things and not only soccer. Like I really, really appreciate you for being my New York guide and Cookie Man's master. So thank you so much. And everybody in the comment section, again, is showing so much love to him, to the Chivas del Norte project, and to We Goju overall. And I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for you and from everything Chivas del Norte does. And of course, because thanks to you, things like We Goju can be possible. So thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Yes, thank you, Alvaro. Gracias. Eres una
Thank you, Alvaro.
inspiración. You're an inspiration, my friend, and thank you for being the voice for so many Latinoamericanos. Yo sé que no nada más son mexicanos allá that connect with you, and you're a voice, man. You're a voice for millions of people. I don't know if you could see that on your numbers, but a lot of people speak very, very highly of you, my friend. So muchas gracias, y gracias por compartir tu tiempo, right, with us, my friend.
Thank you guys for the invite. I mean, when we started Chivas Norte, I was like, if we collab with Chivas one day, that'd be cool. So here we are, right? This is pretty cool. Gabby, thank you for the invite. This is awesome. Good luck, guys, with the show, and I hope it keeps growing.
Thank you. Great to have you, and hope to have you again.
Come visit.
Yeah, come visit. Exactly.
Yeah.
Come visit more often.
Whenever
We
you guys
have
will have
tequila.
it. What kind?
Someday we're gonna have tequila. in
It's
here,
free
so.
kind. No, pues muchas gracias. Y mis amigos, pues, ¿qué les digo? Ha llegado el momento, again, for us to say goodbye. And es un hasta luego, no es un adiós. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesday for all the information of the most Mexican of teams, las Chivas Rayadas del Guadalajara. Gaby, ¿quieres despedirte?
Oh, thank you so much, everybody, for joining episode 6. We are going strong. Thank you for all the support. And again, I cannot stress enough that this is an English content show. So please be patient. Practice with us even. Sometimes we can speak Spanglish here and there, but this is mostly and exclusively an English show. So yeah, that's the reason why people keep asking now and there and in the chat, why isn't it English? Why are you speaking English? That's why. This is an English show. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience, and we will see you next week. And arriba las Chivas.
Arriba las Chivas. Alfredo.
Yeah. Well, Chivermanos, as Robert said, it is not a goodbye. It is an hasta luego. Very happy to be here. It's incredible how fast the show went today. It's incredible that it's already been 6 episodes of We Go to Live. It's, as always, the comment section is more than open to you to comment, to express yourself, obviously, always with respect. And as Gaby said, it's English content, and I'm very proud to be part of the only team in Latin America who is producing English content, because we are el más grande, and we're going to show it on the pitch and everywhere we have to show it. So see you next Wednesday, and arriba las Chivas.
Arriba las Chivas. Gracias a producción and everybody involved with this. We go to.
See you next
live,
week.
my friends. Nos vemos.
Bienvenidos al Estadio Akron, la casa de las campeonas, la casa de las chingonas.
They're trying to play hard. They ain't down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard.
Le pegó al arco, el balón lleva dirección de portería, gol.